Yes, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This time around we're reviewing GRM Daily's GRM10. Firstly, before we even get into this review, whether I like this album or not, shout out to GRM, formerly known as GRM Daily. They've been a very instrumental part in the UK music scene, alongside Link Up TV, alongside SBTV, recently alongside Press Play, Mixtape Madness, and all these other publications. They've really helped the UK scene grow and develop to become what it is today. A lot of your favourite UK artists to date have uploaded onto GRM and also become popular off there. And as much as people in the past have complained about how much they should pay to get on there and, you know, the logistics of getting onto GRM in the first place, if you have a song that pops, you put it on GRM Daily, chances are you're going to blow up and you could be a star of tomorrow. So looking at the track list, we've got 10 tracks, which makes sense, GRM10 and all that. We've got Aitch, Yxng, M Huncho, Dutchavelli, Unknown T, DEE, Fredo, Faith in My Killy, which you've already heard. That was a very, very big song. M24, Ghetts RV, Chip and Dino, Hardy Caprio, and Lotto Ash. And Cash Train, which features Notes and Blade Brown, which is already out as well, which was quite a good song when that dropped. Apart from going through the track list, the time's only a 29-minute tape, so it's not going to be that long. It's a nice kind of way of seeing GRM's kind of transition from where they were in 2010 to where they are in 2020, and how they're going to be an instrumental part in the landscape over the next 10 years. I'm expecting this tape to be very, very good. Let's get into it right now. Track number 1, Aitch and Yxng. I can't lie, hearing this straight away, it sounds like it's going to be like an Oceana type vibe. You know, there was, or Prism, that's what it's called now. So we're getting more of a rapping Yxng, you know. Alright. I like a little breakdown though. Hey. Moving Naughty, Aitch, Yxng, decent tune. It sounds like what you'd hear in, like, you know, your Fiat 500 club. I ain't got a problem with that, to be fair. Yxng comes through, not so much singing, like he does that, you know, yeah, that part, but not so much like his songs that we've heard, you know, Jumanji and Wine, where he's more singing. This is kind of like that sing rap vibe. Aitch kind of saying the same thing, chatting to moving to the girls and doing all that type of stuff. So it's not a bad song to start off with. There's no main quotables. I mean, we reviewed Aitch's project a couple weeks back and that was pretty solid. Don't know if I'd wheel it up again personally. For a little intro to kind of get into the record, it sounded kind of clean. I've been waiting for this one. M Huncho, Dutchavelli. I know this is going to start powerful.
Free smoke, gonna see you burning.
We're 14 seconds deep into this, and my guy's already gone off. Like, Dutchavelli's got a powerful voice, in it, when it comes to rapping, and I'm glad that people are seeing his talent, because man, 40 seconds deep has already made this track. The rest of the track's got a hit now.
Wonder where it is right now, man.
Huncho going off as well, you know.
Look at it, rocket. Whip, bro, still cooking rocket.
Hey. That was a bit mad, you know. I can't even lie to you. Dutchavelli overpowers that track big time. Overpowers that track on a mad one. His voice, the punchy bars that he's got going on as well, and the fact that when he came in straight away, it was like, nah, this is a lot. We see a good balance between both of them. I think, like I said, M Huncho does hold his own. They both have like witty bars. I know Dutchavelli talking about something happens to his dog, then, you know, give it to somebody else, and M Huncho's got a couple of other like witty bars in there and stuff as well. I didn't know how that chemistry would work, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure, because I know there's a video that if this is already, it might have already come out by the time this review comes out, but I'm recording it before that video drops. It's a very, very good blend, and obviously it's a bit left of what M Huncho normally does, but I liked it. And Dutchavelli, listen, that has changed the whole dynamic of the tape so far. Energy, that's what we need sometimes. We need to you know, get hyper. I don't know, bro. Track number 3, Double Trouble, Unknown T, DEE.
Tried and won't quit the rest, trying to check if I filled up my bum with cling pully. Ask they hate our skin.
Unknown T cold, Unknown T's cold so far. Double. Ooh! Shout out to Unknown T. That's where he is in his comfort zone. Drill beat. And I wasn't really worried about what he could do on that record. With DEE, I didn't know where he was going to take it and how it would sound. But you know what? DEE, Usually doesn't really disappoint too much. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm his biggest fan, but when he does do these kind of releases where there's a lot more momentum behind it, I've never kind of thought I disliked it. There was a good flow. His voice works on drill quite well. I wouldn't want to see him overdo it now, and he's probably gonna get a good reception to this track. I wouldn't want to see him start to do drill songs like that on a major run, but for this as a collaborative tape where GRM's assembled people from all over the gaff to jump in, he was very much in their comfort zone, and I appreciate that. So it shows how talented DWE is. As a whole, am I gonna rinse this track out in a couple of weeks' time? Probably not. Track number 4, Ended Up. His flow is cold. Way better than that snippet of Hickory Dickory Dock that I heard a couple weeks back. That was track number 4, Ended Up. Fredo on that one. Better than Hickory Dickory Dock. I heard a snippet of that song when it came out. I didn't even listen to it. And I was just like, yeah, my guy, that ain't the way forward. So it was looking a bit shaky. That was the first time in Fredo's career where he's got major criticism for his music. But this definitely works. The echo that we get on the chorus, where it's kind of like probably someone singing, but it's really faded down. It adds like a depth, like a bigger depth to the record. And then you've got him just talking about stuff and about people taking the Niki routes because they went college, you know. It's a bit bad still. It's one of them ones where Fredo is just, it's a rap song. He's just chatting what he's chatting, talking about cooking up and losing a couple quarters and that. Not pennies, quarters. But yeah, decent record. Decent record. Obviously, it's not the first time he's done a track with GRM where it's like a GRM track before. I believe the other one was called YRF with Notes, but that was done maybe 2017, 18 kind of time. So there's no way that was going to make it onto this record because that song's old by now. But decent tune, not bad. Dutchavelli M Huncho is still my favourite, but we move on to the next one. Track number 5, Faith in My Killy. Good song, mad dope. Can't lie, everyone smashed it on that one. Because obviously that song's already been out for time. I won't do like a reaction to it because there's no point. We already know what the song's like. But Faith in My Killy was good because Nafe, Smallz and Bane on the hook together smashed it. Then you give everyone a verse. Blade Brown and Skrapz were the hype and the peak of that record though. Them two back to back, cold. That whole record was dope when it came out and was on heavy rotation. I ain't heard it in a minute, so probably off camera when once I'm editing and probably I'll run through this again in my own time. I'll probably whack that one on first. But once I heard that tune, I was like, right, we're getting something very, very serious coming from GRM, whether this be just like another little mini EP, because they did one a couple of years ago, which is I think what YRF was on, or are they gonna do a complete madness? And obviously we got GRM10. So yeah, man, Faith in My Killy was a dope record. Track number 6 is Peter Crouch, M24. Let's get into it right now. Let's see what this one's saying. M24 has been on a very, very good run over the last 2 years. I'm expecting probably a drill record again. Let's go.
No, I don't do this shit just for clout. Numbers out, shave man down.
Decent record again. Obviously, I was wondering why is there a tune called Peter Crouch, but obviously the chorus says "Ting come along like Peter Crouch," and he talks about him, being 21 and having like mad peas. Talks about the GBGs. Talks about other things on the record. Good song. Not gonna lie, I was expecting something a bit like No Cap or We Don't Dance or something like that. More mellow, more stripped back, rap song. Will it be something that a lot of people spin on rotation? I don't know. As much as I like M24's music, I'm not the biggest M24 fan. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of the record and what you think about the rest of the stuff. And if you're this far into the video and you ain't left a like, I don't know what you're doing, If you're enjoying it, let's go. Leave a like and subscribe. We're beyond halfway through this record right now. And it's been enjoyable. Like, there hasn't been a song where I'm like, yo, why did you even put that on there? Every single song's come through. It's been different in its own way. The features obviously have been different every single time. But there seems to be synergy. And the production on the record is really enjoyable. Like, you can tell that they've spent time making sure they get the right people. Quincy, M1, a lot of the guys who have, made the scene pop in the last couple of years on the records to make sure that the quality is good. And the artists they've curated to make the tape is on point too. I know we still got a few more tracks, so I could be completely wrong by the end of it. But so far, so good. Track number 7, Ghetts RV. So it's called NBA.
If I got jewels on me,
that vocal drop sounds a bit like Ice Mike, Crypto That there you go, let's go.
Fill up a car with diesel. Fill up a boy with
wow.
Done it, did it. Still, man, I don't owe much love.
Listen, that's mad. You know when they get Ghetts back on the ghetto flex from from way back when, you know. Shout out to RV. People always debate whether RV is better than Heady One. I'm not sure about that one. But I do appreciate both when they kind of come onto the record and they do their own thing. And it's nice to see them. Obviously, they've dropped separate projects already, but obviously we know drillers and trappers and stuff, like, we know them as a kind of a, they're not a duo, but they're a duo, if you know what I mean. Like, but having Ghetts here, it was good, because again, it's a bit like DWE, you've got that kind of older figure. As much as Ghetts is still very relevant in today's music landscape, you've got him kind of with RV, who's, you know, been around on the main stage for not as long as Ghetts, of course, because obviously Ghetts is, I think he is in his 30s, and I think RV is late 20s. The flow's good, drill beat again, so we're seeing, you know, Ghetts jump on drill. I'm pretty sure he might have done that before on a record, but I can't remember off the top of my head, so apologies if I'm wrong or if I'm right. If you know, comment below, you know what it is. One of them songs, though, for me, that potentially could be left in this record. Like, I don't see myself playing that one too much beyond me listening to this tape, but I can say for myself that it's not a bad song. It's just not my personal preference for when I go back to this record. Coming up next, track number 8, Yxng, Chip and Dino.
I was like 20 when I got a mortgage, link up with Dino, we talking advice, can't.
Not gonna lie, hold on. Chip came through and already started preaching, yeah? Obviously, man's talking about 20 getting a mortgage. Shout out to him for doing that. But he always used to make people who were born in the 90s, especially before 1996, yeah, feel bad about themselves. Shall I tell you why? Because man just say 90s babies actual age. He used to say that throughout bare tunes, and it used to make everyone feel bad, innit? Because for everyone, like I said, born before 1996, you're like, you're looking at yourself, especially the ones that are before 1995, 3, 4, like, and you're looking at it like, oh, I mean, we know you're a couple of years older. I think Chip's I think he's turning 30 this year. I think his birthday is at the end of the year or something. But, like, come on, man. Allow it, man. Everyone's just trying to live their life out here. But, listen, he got a mortgage. He did his thing from early. So, shout out to him. But, how you going to come through? How many seconds was that? 18 seconds deep and start preaching on the bad thing. My bad. Let's keep the tune moving. Very, different. Yin and Yang, Chip, Dino. Let me press pause on that one still. Yeah, man, you know what? I like that one because it's a beat that's fitting of the time, but we've got Chip talking from an older perspective, you know, talking about, you know, people out here still being 40 on the roads, buying his house at a young age like we spoke about before, and then people killing each other and basically kind of doing a social commentary on the times that we're in right now. We've seen him do this before on Bouncer's song. I can't remember what the song's called, but it's with Northside Benji on that one as well. And that song's good, so make sure you check it out. It was off Bouncer's tape, which came out, I think it was last year. So check that out. It's kind of echoing the same type of things, but on this one, he's saying it slightly differently. Dino sounds a lot maturer on this as well, because obviously we know Dino's, what, 16, 17? I think he's 17 now. I interviewed him last year when he was 16, so definitely 17. And his voice sounds a little bit different. It sounds a little bit deeper, obviously. In his verse, he's talking about grinding. He's talking about doing stuff, and he's got school in the morning. Yeah, solid synergy between Chip and Dino. And throughout the tape, that's been a common theme. Everybody seems comfortable. It doesn't seem like a lot of this stuff was forced. And even if these features were done via emails, and we don't know when they're recorded, because it might have been, you know, during lockdown and stuff, or if it was recorded prior, it's got good chemistry. And this song was more like a warm-hearted talk of the time song, as opposed to, you know, talking about drilling or talking about this thing or jail cell or something like that, like some of the other records on the GRM10 tape have done. Alright, Amiri and Lamborghini, Lotto Ash, Hardy Caprio. The chorus. Yo, dope. Pause it now before it gets to the end. Dope. That might be one of my favorites as well. See, that's the thing. Like, Lotto Ash was singing, but he was singing, and I felt like a purpose behind the singing. You know, that was there. Like, I felt like, yo, man was going in. The drill beat and the slides in the back helped push what he was saying out, and obviously he mentioned the MJ reference and stuff like that in there, which was cool. But yeah, obviously you've got Hardy Caprio talking about flexing and like people flexing, and then someone trying to flex on the mandem, and then they get left on a drip, and then that kind of drip comparison, which was going from IV drip, or from drippers in clothes and garms and shit, to IV drip, which was quite a nice bit of wordplay. Nothing too complicated, but it was just nice for the song itself. I feel like the star of that song was the hook, though. The star of the song was the hook. And with that, luckily, with Hardy Caprio coming through with the punchy bars and his good flow, which is pretty consistent with his catalogue, it didn't drop off. Because I was hyped at the chorus, and then like Hardy Caprio would take me down just a little bit, and then it would come back up again and do that, and it would just kind of bounce between the two. But solid tune as we get towards the end. You've got one more song left, and that's Cash Train with Notes and Blade Brown. Again, that was a good record. It's pretty solid. I think Notes, we're kind of missing a hit from Notes. He hasn't had one in a while. Like, we had Love of My Life with Remedy and Young Ads, which was good, but I think that was more the Young Ads hype train as opposed to the Notes hype train. And Notes is a talented singer, but I just think it's been, with that change of style of UK music going from 2017-18, where it was nothing but Afro swing and Afro bashment, or whatever you want to call it, to now we've moved towards more UK rap and UK drill being at the forefront. Notes, I don't think, has made that good transition, but being on the tunes like this, when he was on Nux's Hooper, which came out last year as well, and a couple of other records he's, you know, been around on, obviously that one with Tiny, but a lot of people were angry at Tiny after this, some of his comments recently. It's one of those situations where, well, the lighter just got a bit bad at the room, you know, that was a bit bad. This was a good song to kind of get people talking about Notes again, and let's see, I'm looking forward to seeing what else he comes out with for the rest of the year. But that is it. That is the end of my review of GRM Daily's GRM10. 10 tracks to celebrate their 10 years in the game. More power to them. Shout out to them every single time. Shout out to Link Up TV, SBTV, Press Play, Mixtape Madness. Everyone, all the other publications out there doing their thing, because if it weren't for them, a lot of these artists that we know and love and appreciate wouldn't be here today, or it'd take them a lot longer to blow, because the internet, as much as it is a small place, is a very, very wide place when it comes to distributing music. And having publications that bring everything together and allow people to prosper and become the stars of tomorrow, you can't really be mad at that. So shout out to GRM for that. If I'm going through my favorite tracks on this, I would go for Burning. I'd go for Faith in My Killy, which is obviously we already heard. Maybe Yin and Yang, potentially Iberia Lamborghini. So I'll probably go for those. The other tracks aren't too bad either. As a whole, decent tape. Like I said, 10 tracks, just a little celebration of what they can do. What did you guys think? Make sure you leave a like down below, because it helps to push these videos out to the big wide world of the internet. And of course, if it's the first time ever watching one of my videos, make sure you subscribe as well. And yeah, we're doing very well, you know, I can't lie. My aim was to get to 2K by the end of the year when I started in January. I think we started January at like 500, 600 subscribers. We're almost at 1.5. So we're doing well. So yeah, if you're new around here, leave a like, subscribe. All my socials and stuff are going to be on the screen right about now as well. So yeah, I'll catch you for the next one sometime soon. In a bit, people. Peace.